So moving forward to the diagnosis techniques of breast cancer. So now you have gone to your GP and he has seen and he thinks there is something wrong. Then the first thing what he is going to do is going to do a physical examination. Then he will do an imaging, and then moving forward to histopathological examination. Okay. So when it comes to physical examination, so I wanted to demonstrate that this can be done if your GP is doing, he will do it separate, differently. But then again, if you're doing it at home, you can, every individual, every a lady who thinks there is a breast lump, they can, even when you have a shower, when you're lying down, you can palpate it and see whether you have a lump. So first of all, you have to make sure that you use, if you're going to palpate your left breast, then you have to use your right hand, and if you're going to palpate your right breast, then you have to use your left hand. You use first three fingers like this, and you will not palpate it from your tip of the finger, but then this part of the finger, and you can palpate it in a circular movement. You can palpate it and see whether you have a breast lump or not. Okay, all four quadrants you can palpate it. So that's, and finally you will palpate the nipple area also, because it's a little sensitive. So what you will do is you will do it at last. Right? So that is one way of doing it. So there are, it's very difficult for me to demonstrate without a mannequin, so I'm just telling you, so you can Google it, YouTube it, find out the right way of doing it as well. And apart from that, like I told you, so your GP or the surgeon who you went to, or the doctor, would palpate both your breast, and he will find whether there are any abnormalities. If he finds any abnormalities, then we will ask you to go for imaging. So imaging has a couple of techniques. One is a mammogram, and then the ultrasound. So when it comes to mammogram, you need to understand mammogram is the X-ray of your breast. So you take an X-ray and you see of the breast, and you see if there are any abnormal lesions. All right. So same with ultrasound, you will find out if you have any abnormal lesions in the breast. So once you identify that, if there is an abnormal lesion in the breast, then we can go to the histopathological stage of the diagnosis. So histopathological stage, what you will do is you will do basically a fine needle aspiration cytology, which you take, you use a very tiny mini needle under the help of ultrasound, and then you will take a small lesion, as in a couple of cells, and then you'll put it on the microscope and see any abnormalities you find in the cell. If you confirm the diagnosis in that, then you will move to the next stage and you'll do a true cut biopsy. You'll take some lesion around it as well, and you'll find whether if anything wrong around the lesion as well. So likewise, and once you confirm the diagnosis, then you move forward how far the disease has spread. Like we discussed in the earlier stages, if the disease is more confined to that region or it has spread. So mostly when it comes to cancer, especially when it comes to breast cancers, you are looking at lung, liver, brain and bone. These are the four places where a breast cancer would spread. So these spreads you will identify by imaging techniques, can be CTs, MRIs, etc. So that's the way. So these are the ways where you can find how you can find out how you diagnose the breast cancer from a hospital. So these type of things in Sri Lanka, even in Sri Lanka, we are very advanced, and these are available. And any even at a government sector, it's not almost always you have to go to a private sector to identify these things. Almost all the surgical clinics of Sri Lanka, in a hospital, in the government sector, you can go and find out. If you have any doubts, you can always go to a doctor and from OPD, and they will do all this imaging, and they will make sure that you are correctly diagnosed.